Hi everyone. Welcome back to a new installment of an expert's guide to Path of Exile, where I, an 8,000 hour player, going to bring you through the game, show you the basics, and help you succeed in what is a very complex game. So you'll remember from last time we left off that by way of example, I had shown what happens if you equip the wrong weapon type. So you can see here I have two scepters on. Looks good, they do decent damage for this stage of the game, even have one that's rare. Unfortunately, the skill I wanted to use, Cleave, does not work. What? Does not work with scepters. What the hell? Who is that? Yeah, sorry. Hold on, let me fix that. I understand how people are finding me here, but see, it's do not disturb. All right, so okay, won't be bothered by messages anymore from spammers. So what I've done is I bought two jade hatchets from Tarkly over here. I am now going to equip those. Now they don't do as much damage, but the good thing is they will allow us to use Cleave. So we got Cleave connected to Chance to Bleed. And I'm going to put these other gems back into these sockets just so they can level up and we can use them. Okay, dash. And I'm going to put double strike on the here into this one. All right, so now we can sell those items that we don't need anymore. So now we're ready. Now you remember last time we left off having reached the ledge, which is a real milestone in any playthrough. It's really where you want to farm in the early game. So we'll just fast travel to the ledge. I'm going to put Cleave on my right click. I'm going to put Walk on my left click. Just fixing up some of these issues. I'm going to turn on my buffs, Blood and Sand. Okay, so let's get farming. Looks like somebody already ran through here. That's weird, but no problem. Okay, all these bipedal seagulls are dead, which is only proper. Yeah, very strange. I don't understand how all the enemies are dead already, but that can happen sometimes. Must have been another player or something. A few stragglers here, so we got some skeletons. And you can see my cleave is cleaving. It's nice, it works. Okay, cleave here. My gems are leveling up. Cannot ask for much more. And here's the boss of the zone. Okay, a giant totem. So sacred to somebody's religion, but not ours. Therefore, it is okay to cleave it down. Whoop. Oh yeah, he's very strong though. You got to be careful. Okay, now see, that's going to happen. Nothing to be ashamed of. No big deal. Once in a while, you are going to be hurt by certain surprise attacks. There's really nothing you could have done to avoid that. So it's just a learning experience. We'll just get right back into it. Turn on my buffs once again. I'll level up my gems. Whoops. And here we go. You know what? Let's go the other direction since we've already cleared that way. There should be enemies back this other way, so we're gonna work on farming these guys. All right, we got more goatmen. Okay, fun stuff. Some enemies here. An iron ring is useful. Gives you some physical attack damage, I believe. Whoops. Okay, I'm going to put down my totem to give me some help. And he will attack those guys. Alright. So we'll keep on traveling through here. Kill some seagulls. Some skeletons. Totem here. Now, the neat thing about the ledge is actually some of the history of it, by which I mean the physical, geographical history. As you can tell, it's a rocky formation um, next to the ocean, and that came to be some time ago. Right. Let's go down here. We got more goatmen. Yep, very dangerous. Okay, always kill the barrels. You never know where a divine orb might be hiding. That's a especially rare form of currency. Good chance you can play for hundreds of hours without seeing one, but sometimes those barrels contain them, so really you gotta check. Okay, more goatmen. Pick up our scroll of wisdom here. Whoop. So you can see our experience just going way up. There's another level. That feels good, right? Okay, in fact, let's open the skill tree. We're finally going to take this notable passive, Art of the Gladiator. So click on that, and I think I'm going to head over this way. So we'll take this life, and soon we'll get a 8% increased life as the next one. But for now, we're in pretty good shape. So let's continue our farming. Here's a shrine. This is a diamond shrine. It increases my critical strike chance, I presume. So makes you hit harder. Okay. I'm missing some swings here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my attack to always attack without moving. So then I can attack in place without having to press shift, which you might prefer that. Depends on your play style. Oh, a portal scroll. That's great. You can use those to portal back to town, but they are pretty rare, so we're not going to use it now. Great. So if we've reached the end, or if you like the beginning of this level, we're going to leave. Remember the submerged passage? We were here earlier, and now if you control click on the entrance to the ledge, you can see I can either go into my last instance or start a new one. I want to start a new one, so it repopulates with new enemies, and then I will be able to kill those guys again. And that killing is justified for many reasons. One of those is the experience that you gain, which is useful, allows you to level up, become more powerful, and kill more things at a quicker pace. Okay, so this is a magic pack. These guys are a little stronger than the normal goat guys, but we can still handle them, perhaps. Oh yeah. Yep. Feels good. So we shall continue to level. Scroll of Wisdom, Coral Amulet, Chest. I don't need Ice Shot, that's a skill gem, but it's for bows, and I'm not going to be using them, so I can just leave it. Oh, chest. Huh. Okay. Right, more cannibals to murder. Oh boy. Yep. So you just want to keep grinding. Very, very important to grind the ledge for as long as you possibly can. Let's see here. Some skeletons, take them out. I haven't had good luck with item drops, so nothing especially good has dropped so far, but it just comes down to luck. As a wise man once said on the internet, RNG is RNG. And weirdly enough, I see that guy everywhere. He posts constantly on all sorts of message boards and on Reddit. But it's a good point that he came up with, that it is in fact the case that random number generators are random number generators, which isn't obvious at first, but if you read enough online commentary, you will learn that, and it's valuable information. Okay. Here, take out these totems, because they buff the guys near them, probably. Some more skeletons. One thing is you don't have to kill every single enemy. Sometimes you can leave some stragglers, right? It's all about efficiency. We're already going at a pretty good clip, so we could afford to take our time. But if you don't want to, if you want to go as fast as possible, for example, you don't need to take care of this one random skeleton. Maybe you just run past it like this. Of course, I'm not going to do that. but one could. Okay, we're going to grab the chest. Okay, more skeletons. All right. So we're getting stronger. We might possibly be able to take on the boss of this zone this time, that giant totem that killed us previously. I doubt it. It's pretty tough, and most players just run by him. It's usually just not worth the risk. But for educational purposes, we'll give it another shot, see what happens. Very unlikely we'll be successful. Again, there's nothing you can do about it. We're just not strong enough yet because we haven't ground enough here on the ledge yet. Okay, take out these totems. Whoop, whoop. Okay, yeah, see, the goat people jump you, which is, you know, it's not, I'm not generalizing, I'm just saying those goatmen jump me. They don't all necessarily do that. I'm not trying to stereotype their people. Okay, pick up a portal scroll here.
I can't do this just yet.
So, you know, if anyone was offended by that, I do apologize. So up here we got an essence coming. I'll explain what those are. Very important, especially in the early game. So you can see these monsters are frozen in some type of ice, you could call it, I guess. Oh gosh, they're right next to the boss, so let's take care of him first. Okay, he's shooting me with electric. Let's try and cleave him. Oh boy. Oh jeez. Like I said, this is one of the more challenging fights, honestly, in the game. I mean, obviously, stats-wise, some of the later game bosses are going to be somewhat more powerful, but relative to where you're likely to be this early in the game, I would say this guy, I don't know what his name is, I would say this guy is one of the hardest in the game, right? Obviously, if you came back endgame, it would be a fair fight, but at this early stage, it's super hard. And, you know, you don't need me to tell you, you can see that. Okay, so my health is very low. I'm out of flask charges, so I'm going to use my portal scroll and go back to town. So that recharges my flasks down here, improves my life, and now I'm going to go back and give it another try. So in fact, we can open the passive tree and take this life node here to help us out a bit. I went from 198 to 214 life. That's pretty huge, to be honest. Put down my totem, and we did it. Okay. So thanks to that portal scroll, we were able to teleport back to town and get the extra strength we needed to take that guy on, which is pretty exciting. All right, so now let me explain this frozen essence monster. You can see it tells us that he does extra physical damage through an aura and is evasive, which means our hits are more likely to miss. But if you defeat him, you get a Whispering Essence of Woe, which can be used to upgrade your equipment. So it's definitely worth fighting these guys. You got to click on him 3 times, and he wakes up. See, there he is. Okay, and yep, there's the bleed. Whoop. Okay, and that was a bleed. There's another. Okay, very tough rare monster, and we got him. Okay. All right, I did not expect that to go well. We got 2 rare items in addition to that essence. So I'm going to run through to the end of the ledge and activate the waypoint in the next zone, just so we have it if and when we need it. But then I'm obviously going to come back to the ledge for another 20, 30 runs, of course. At least that's the plan. We'll see if it works out. And here's the exit. So we go to the climb. Next level. All right. And we're just going to rush through here to try and find the waypoint. It's usually somewhere in the middle-ish of this zone.
I can't do this just yet.
So if you use dash, you can go over ledges, by the way, so that's useful. Whoop. Okay. I hope they don't. Okay, yeah, they got fire. Okay. Well, we can see the waypoint here, so that's good. I activate that. Yes, got it. Great. And there is an essence down here. Now, it's a bit risky, but we might as well try to get another one. Oh, see, he hits hard. Okay. Now you just stay here and you cleave. So we got a good defensive position. You can try and get a backstab in, but it's tough to get behind him. And there he goes. So now we kill some of his helpers here and a skeleton. All right, Whispering Essence of Contempt and an oiled vest. Both of those are very good. We got pretty lucky there. All right, so let's head back to town and organize some of our equipment. All right, so what do we got? Remember, we need to use wisdom scrolls to identify items. And you can actually sell a blacksmith's whetstone to get a few more scrolls of wisdom if you need them for identification purposes, which you will. All right, so let's take a look at this essence. So you can see it does different things for different types of items. So for jewelry, it adds 1 to 2 physical damage to attacks. That's useful for me. You can use that on a common item to make it rare. So I'm going to use it on my ring, and look at that. Added some useful stats, kind of. Let's replace our power ring. And we got some other items here. So I'm going to use my other essence. I think here gives energy shield to body armor. That's not really useful for me, but the main thing I want to use it on this doesn't work if it's equipped, so you got to unequip it to apply the essence. You right click on the essence, left click it on the item, and there you make the item rare and you get some useful things. Very helpful for leveling. All right, I got these rawhide gloves. I'm going to apply an orbit transmutation, do some lightning resistance and evasion, so not bad. And there you go. So that's something. So now I'm going to sell my excess items, stuff that I don't need. I'm not going to use claws, even though that's rare. I'm not going to use it. I have a rare chest piece now. This is merely magic, so likely worse. I'm not going to use wands or claws, as we said. That's a rare dagger, so I'm going to hold on to it for now in case I need it. And I think that's all I will sell for the moment. Oh, yep. Try and find some unused stashes in here. So I'm going to right click and move that to the front. So just ignore everything in my stashes. Pretend that I'm starting fresh. Whoa, there's something in there, huh? Okay. Nope, that's fine. It's all this stuff. Anyway, I'm going to put my knife in there. I have a large life flask and a large mana flask. I will identify both. Those are better than what I got, so I shall replace some of these things. Hold on to that stuff. And then I can sell those extra flasks for some items. All right. So we're going to head back now. Once again, click on the waypoint, and we're going to go back to the ledge because that's the best zone. Hold Control and left click it from here, and once again you can make a new instance, which you want to do so that once again you can have a new zone filled with enemies that you can kill again for experience and items. So, okay, we don't know which way the boss is. It's random, right? Could be to the left, could be to the right. Let's try the right first, right? 50-50 chance, and there's no way to tell for sure which way it is on any given playthrough. Okay. All right. So I've switched to Blood Stance on my Blood and Sand aura, which gives me more damage, whereas the Sand Stance, I believe, blinds your enemies by throwing sand in their eyes, thus making it harder to see. So most of the enemies in this game rely on sight to some extent. For example, goats. Not all enemies. For example, the squids. I haven't verified this, but I assume, and it makes sense, that the squids, since they don't have eyes, Sand Stance has no effect on them, right? So obviously you can't blind something that doesn't have eyes. They rely on other senses, so it's not going to help you much against them. Same with skeletons, right? They don't have eyes anymore, so you can't blind them. The sand has no effect, but it does on many of the creatures in this zone, so it's very useful for giving you a bit of protection. Once again, I'm not in Sand Stance, I'm in Blood. but you see the point. Okay. So we're starting to do better damage, smashing these guys and their totems, more or less ruining their sacred ways and their way of life. But they should not have set up at the ledge. That was a choice that they made, and now you're making your choice, which is fair game. Okay, so we can see the exit for the zone coming up here. That means the boss was not in this direction. So that's too bad we didn't get to kill him again. But we just go back in, renew the instance, and this time we'll run all the way through, and we will get the boss sooner or later this time because we're starting from the end rather than the middle. So we'll go through the whole way, and you'll see everything in the ledge. And this is what you do. This is really the name of the game in Act 1. It's the best use of your time. Perhaps not in life, but certainly when it comes to leveling up in this game, it's your best bet for at least many levels, right? So maybe when you get to level 70 or something, it starts to be a little less useful, but up until then, it's definitely the way to go, and that's pretty common knowledge, pretty widely agreed to. I'm sure you can find somebody who questions that, but anyone who's played the game for more than a couple thousand hours is going to know how to level up, and that's usually starting with the ledge. Okay. So you can see we're getting very strong here. We're not in much danger of dying. We're out leveling these guys, and that's going to make the experience come even faster. Obviously, the stronger you are, the quicker you're killing the guys, the more you're getting the experience, the quicker you're getting that experience. So it all adds up. Now you can see, let's see, we've reached the waypoint, so still no boss, so that must mean he's over here on this side today. Oops. All right. So you'll notice on the right that my gems are grayed out, so I can't currently hit the plus sign to level them up. That's because my character is not at a high enough required level to do so. So sometimes that can happen, your gems out-level your character, and you just gotta wait until you gain a couple levels on your character before you can then activate those gem levels up to the next one. So we will do that when it becomes available. They're no longer grayed out. All right. So the skeletons are not posing much difficulty. All right, feels good. More goatmen, you'll see they're in purple or a, sort of a blue outline. That means they're magic. So they have a few extra abilities and stats, harder to kill, but also have a greater chance to drop useful items. Okay. So still haven't found the totem, but he is here, unless it's a glitch or something. So I went up there because I thought he might be in that open area. He wasn't, so it must be just up here. Oh, yeah, and there's another sign, that empty pigeon nest, don't forget. That's always a sign of a useful leveling area. So it's a bit of an Easter egg, or a pigeon egg, if you will. Okay, here's the boss, here's the boss. So we got to be very careful, watch out for his electric. Dodge the cannibals. Okay. Oh boy. See, running low on mana, hit a mana flask, hit that, drop my totem. Okay, so one totem's hitting the other. A little messed up, but you kind of have to do it, and he's gone. Okay, so our totem did the job. He took care of that other totem. Anything worth dropping or taking? No. All right, so we got the experience. That's good, and we had a chance at some decent drops. Didn't really get anything that time, but next time is possible. Kill the barrels, always. And here we are once again at the end of the ledge. You're just going to go right back in, right? Highly recommended. New zone, and you go through. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to head back to town. Look at these drops that I got. Maybe one of them is worth keeping. Mm. So two-handed stone axe, that does 12 to 20 damage physical. This does 10 to 15. Okay, so nothing there that's especially great. I'm just going to stick with the two axes that I've got. I'll hold on to this two-handed axe in case I want it later. Probably won't, but you never know what might become valuable in trade. I'm going to take my life node with that extra skill point, and we'll get a nice notable passive for our next skill point, which we are very close to. All right, so I'm going to leave it there for this installment. I hope you learned a lot. The goal, remember, grind the ledge as much as you possibly can, over and over again. You want to gain levels there. It's got the best items. Again, the pigeon nest and or the docile pigeons at the beginning of the zone. That's the indication that it's a good area to level. So do that over and over again. And after you're done with that, come back and we'll continue on our journey. I'll talk to you next time.